Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be making this beautiful monostrip top with gather that you can see right here on the screen. So if this tutorial is something you're interested in, just keep watching this video to the end. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys for stopping by. And if this is your first time you're coming across my channel, please do well to subscribe and join this beautiful family. Thank you. So welcome back guys. This is the fabric we are going to be making use of, and you'll be needing around 1.5 to 2 years of any fabric of your choice. So mine is 2 years that I'm using to make this particular top. So this is our style inspiration for this particular monostrip top. As you can see, this is the front part. It's a monostrip top, and at the shoulder have a little bit of gather. Then this is the back part. So the back, as you can see, the shoulder part do not have any gathers, but the front do have some gathers, and you can see what the neckline is looking like. So guys, without wasting much of your time, we are going to start by drafting the pattern for this particular top. So you are going to be having your pattern paper on fold. So your pattern will be folded into two. So guys, I've gone ahead to secure my pattern paper on my cutting table. Now the first thing you'll be doing is to draw a line at the top of your pattern paper. That line will be your shoulder line. Then you will go ahead and mark half of your shoulder measurement. So whatever your shoulder is, go ahead and divide it by 2 and insert half of it on that line. Then you go ahead and mark your neck width. So normally we make use of 3 inches for our basic neck width, but because of the nature of the top, I'm going to be making use of 2.5 inches for my neck width. Then at that part you mark the half of your shoulder, you should go down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope, because we all know that our shoulder is not straight. Now on that part you went down by 1 inches for your shoulder slope, go ahead and mark your upper chest line. Now the formula for your upper chest line is your total bust circumference divided by 6. You go ahead and add 1.5 inches to that. Then on that line that I draw out as my upper chest line, I also go ahead and insert half of my shoulder measurements there. Then I'll be connecting it up straight to that my shoulder slope. Now I'll go ahead and place my tape on my shoulder line to determine the half length of this top. Now the half length I'm making use of is 17 inches. So I'm making use of 17 inches for my half length. Now just go ahead and mark whatever half length you are making use of, or they are making use of for the particular top that you're making. Now I'll be drawing out that line so you can see what it's looking like. So this is the half length of the top where the gather will be starting from. Now at that my upper chest line, I'll go ahead and divide my bust circumference by 4 and I'll insert it there. Now I'll place my tape like this on that line that you are seeing. I want to get the midpoint. I'll just go ahead and fold my tape into 2 and I'll be getting the midpoint. Then I'll be going in by ½ inches, which is 0.5 inches. I'll just go ahead and mark it. Then I'll be connecting those 3 points together to form our front armhole. Now this particular top, you don't need to draft your front separate and your back separate, because your armhole is going to be the same thing. Now on the waistline, that is our half length, you go ahead and divide your waist by 4 and insert whatever you have there and connect it straight. Now guys, this particular blouse, I'm not going to be inserting that on it. I'm not going to be making use of that, but if you want, you can add that. Now I want to adjust our shoulder. So for me to do that, I'll be going in from that part that my shoulder, half of my shoulder measurement was marked. I'll be going in by 1 inch as you see me doing. Now I'll be connecting it together. Why I did this was because this is going to be a sleeveless top. I won't be attaching sleeve to it. So if I allow it the way it was initially, the shoulder parts will come out. So I want it to be fitted very well. So that was why I went in by 1 inches from that part. Now just go ahead and bring out my pattern paper from the table. While doing that, I tossed a part of my pattern paper, so I'll just use my paper tape to hold it down. Then I'll go ahead and cut out what I have. Now you'll be asking, why didn't I insert a neck depth for this particular dress? So I did not insert a neck depth for it. I just make use of my neck width because of the mono strip design we are going to be having. Now go ahead and open up your pattern paper. Make sure you open it up. That is why we have our pattern paper on fold initially. Now see this design. This is the neckline we are trying to create for this particular blouse, this mono strip design. Now you go ahead and determine your right and your left side of your pattern paper. Now this is assumed to be my left hand side, this is my right hand side. Now you decide where you want the mono strip to be. For mine, I follow exactly what they have on the design. It was at the right hand side, so I just went ahead and used my master ruler to form that curve there. So I didn't use the straight part, I used the curvy part because I wanted it to be somehow curvy so it can sit perfectly on me when I put it on. Now I first use my pencil to draft it out to make sure that I'm getting a very nice curve at that part. Since I've confirmed it, I'll go ahead and use my marker to trace it out so that it will be more visible for you to see. Just go ahead and use my marker to do that. Now this is what it's looking like. I'll go ahead and cut it off. Now I'm totally okay with this design. I hope you guys can understand what I'm doing here. If you have any question, just drop it at the comment box and I will get to reply it there. Now I'll go ahead and use this pattern to cut the back first before we cut the front because of the adjustment that we are having on the shoulder part. Now for you to do that, go ahead and bring your fabric and make sure you open up your fabric. Please don't fold your fabric, just open it up, place your pattern paper on it. So since this was the back part I'm cutting, I'll go ahead and turn my pattern paper to be facing that fabric. Now the front part of my pattern paper is facing the front part, that is the right part of the fabric, not the wrong part but the right part of the fabric. That is, you have to cut it like this to make sure that this shoulder fall on the right part. I'm assuming that this pattern paper is my fabric, so you have to face the right side facing each other, the right side facing each other, so that you can be able to get the proper cutting. Now on this pattern paper, I'm going to be adding my sewing allowance at the side and also some allowance on all around the pattern paper. While cutting it, I didn't add any sewing allowance. Now for my side, I was just adding 1 inch sewing allowance. That is okay for me. But if you're the type of person that likes adding enough allowance for that dress, you can go ahead and add 1.5. It's also good. So I add 1 inch, and at that shoulder part, the neck part, I just add 0.5 inches for the turning. So that's what I did. But at the side, I add 1 inch for sewing allowance. Now you can see that I'll just go ahead and cut out whatever I have there. So this is what it's looking like, and this is our back part. We'll go ahead and bring out our pattern paper so that we can do some adjustments and cut out our fronts. I'll just be keeping that piece aside. Now on this our pattern paper, we want to do a sort of a splash and spread on the shoulder. Because I do not have any dart on this pattern paper, I'm not going to be doing anything like that manipulation here. That will be a long process, so I'll just go ahead and connect my lines to the armhole. So that is the easiest way you can go about forming a gather at your shoulder. Just go ahead and draw out a line from your shoulder and directing it towards the armhole part. It will be easier for you to do your splash and spread with this method if you are not going to be doing that manipulation. So this was the method I used to achieve that beautiful design that you saw on the shoulder of the top. Now you just go ahead and open it up a little like this and you are good to go. So this can also serve, but don't get me wrong, doing your dart manipulation is better off, but this also will work for you. Now I'll go ahead and place my pattern paper. Now see how I'm placing my pattern paper. I place it facing up. I do not face it down on the fabric because this is the front part. I place this facing up, like the wrong side of this pattern paper is facing the right side of the fabric, so it's facing up. As you can see, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but just watch at what I'm doing. I know you are going to get it. I just place it and I've gone ahead to pin it down. Now I'm opening up that shoulder part, so I didn't measure any space between it. I didn't do that. I just go ahead and open it up, and I felt like I was okay with how wide it was for the little gather that I'll be having there. You can make it gather, or you can also make it a pleat. So I'll also be adding my sewing allowance at the front piece as well. My sewing allowance of 1 inches at the side, what we are going to be doing to close the dress at the side. Then while cutting it, I'll also go ahead and add ½ inch all round the neck part and the down part. The down part is what I'll be using to join the gather part to it. The neck part is what I'll be using to turn that neck part, and also at the shoulder, what I'll be using to join the shoulder for the back and the front. Now that will be all. So I'm just trying to use my chalk to trace it out, and I'll go ahead and use my scissors and cut out this shape I'm having. You can just see what I'm doing here. So just follow exactly what you see me doing and do the same for yours. So guys, this is what it's looking like right now, and it's looking so nice and beautiful. So I just went ahead to notch where my this splash and spray starts, so that it will guide me while I'm trying to form the gather or the pleats at that shoulder part, so that I won't enter towards the neckline part. Now I'll just go ahead and remove my pattern paper, and I'll be showing you guys what we are going to be doing at that shoulder. So just go ahead and pleat it. You can pleat it, you can do a little gather on it. Either one you want works. So you can see that while pleating it, it's already forming that little ridge that we have at that shoulder part. So I just went ahead to pleat mine, and I'm using my pin to hold it down like this. So I'm using my pin to hold it down, as you can see. So just go ahead and use your pins and secure it in place. So you can see what it looks like. It looks so beautiful and nice. So you can see that this method I use also work out. So I have to try this first before doing it. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'll be placing the back piece on it. Like you can see why I faced that I turned that pattern paper initially to be facing the right side of this fabric. Is like this. Imagine you are cutting your front, your back, you're using your front piece to cut your back piece. This is what it's going to look like. So you can see the two right side are facing each other. Now you go ahead and fold the neck part. So you can decide to fold the neck part like this, or you go ahead and cut out a strip of your fabric to form a bias strip on it. Use it and turn it. So mine, I cut out a piece of my fabric. So this is what I mean. Go ahead and use a piece of your fabric and turn that neck part. I think this is much better and more neater, and that is what I'll go ahead and do for the both parts. So you can see what it's looking like, and I've also go ahead to secure that pleat that I did at that shoulder part. See what it's looking like. And I've also go ahead to turn the neck part. Now the next thing we are going to be doing is to join our shoulder. So we'll go ahead and join the back and the front shoulder. Now this particular top have a sort of a belt on it, but this one is totally optional. If you want to add this belt to yours, go ahead and add it. So the width of my bed is 5 inches. So while folding it, I'll be having 2.5 inches. Half inches is what I'll go ahead and use and close up the belt, because it did not enter into that gather part. So I'll be using 1/2 inches to close it up. So the length was as long as half of my waist. So now after turning it up, you can see that it's close up here. I'm so sorry I did not show you guys that part. My camera skip it. I'm so sorry, but I closed it up. I ironed it in such a way that the sewing was in between, so it won't be showing. So I'll go ahead and pleat it. You can see how I'm placing it there, so it won't be joining the waist joining. It won't be attached to the, like, making it, the gather won't be attached to it. This will be totally on its own. It's just like a belt, just something looking fancy on the dress. So you go ahead and secure it there as well, and then join the shoulder of the back and the front together. So that is what I'll go ahead and do. I'll just be taking this to my sewing machine, and I'll be doing that, and I'll bring it back. So guys, this is what it's looking like after joining the shoulders. You can see how beautiful it's looking, and I've go ahead and secure that our sort of belt, yes, is belt. So I've go ahead to secure it. Now the next thing is to close the sides, but we are just going to be closing one side of this upper part. So I'll be closing but the part that doesn't have any shoulder, and I'll be leaving the part that have a shoulder. So this is what it's looking like. Now after closing it, I'll go ahead and take the measurement of round of that waist, because this is what I'll be guiding us on the amount of gathers that we are going to be making. Now this is the piece I'm going to be using for my gather. I'll go ahead to cut out the remaining pieces of my fabric, and I joined them. Literally, I joined them. The length of this piece is 11 inches, and how I was able to get 11 inches was like this. The total length of my top was 26, and I minus my half length from it. The remaining length, which was around 9 to 10 inches, was what I cut, and I add 1 inches for joining allowance. Now the length, like the total width of my piece, was around 90 inches. That is 90 inches, so it's more than 2 years because I joined pieces together. So it was 19 inches that I have there. Now I'll go ahead and form my gathers. I'll form my gathers, and I'll bring it back for you guys to see. So guys, this is what our gathers is. So I formed my gathers, and what guided me in forming this gather was that measurement that I took from the upper part. That was what I used to gather this. So it's exactly the same amount that I took from the upper part. That is what the gather is. Now you go ahead and bring the upper part of your dress. Now you go ahead and bring the upper part of your dress. You will now place your gather piece on it like this. Just watch at it. You go ahead and join it. I'm sorry, my camera wasn't capturing that part very well. I didn't know that my hand was obviously up, so but don't worry. So just go ahead and place your gather on the upper part of your dress, making sure that the front side is facing the front side of the upper part. Go ahead and sew it, and this is what it looks like. Guys, you guys can see that this blouse is already looking so beautiful. And I also hemmed the down of the blouse. Yes, I've done that because when I went to make this dress, literally they took the lights. Now the next thing is to pipe your armhole as well. Go ahead and pipe your armhole the way you pipe the way you turned your neck part. So that is the same thing. After turning that your armhole with the same fabric, as you can see, go ahead and add your zip at that side. Please, you have to add zip. That is the only way this dress, you'll be able to wear this dress. Go ahead and add zip. So what they used for the style inspiration was invisible zip, but I decided to use this stock zip. Please, I don't need any stress with that invisible zip, so I decided to use this stock zip, and it came out nice and beautiful. So this is our top, this is our blouse. You can see it's looking so beautiful, and you guys already saw it on me in the intro of this video how it looks like. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video to this very moment. So if you have not yet give this video a thumbs up, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, please, I'm pleading with you, please subscribe to the channel and support this channel to grow. Thank you so much.